How's it going, Apex fam? Welcome into this week's trials tutorials. Um, we got an awesome track this week in solo trials. It's another one courtesy of PressureFPV. Asylum and I actually spoke with Pressure yesterday. We got the webcast down, so I'm going to sort that out pretty soon. We'll get that up on the YouTube channel. Super duper interesting talk with Pressure. Honestly, such a great guy. And it's great to see that the work that he's putting into these tracks is being recognised by DCL. So let's jump on in. We'll have some fun and yeah, see how we can best tackle this track. It's a toughie. It really is. It's quite a long track as well. 2 laps, but 2 long laps. So as you can see, it's another sandbox environment. One thing I will say, if you can hear some strange noises in my game and things look a little bit different for me than they do for you, it's because I'm actually on the open beta at the moment for DCL The Game. You can sign up too. Just head on over to dcl.aero. There is an article on their website that tells you exactly how you can sign up for the beta and actually download the necessary assets to get it in game. You'll get the Great Wall of China tracks and the Lake Zurich tracks as well, if that's of interest to you, which it should be because they're amazing. Okay, so first things first, we got 4 of these gates here. Note they are not loopy gates or a big spiral gate. They are basically a slalom, like a really tiny slalom. Best way to attack them is with some yaw. You can go in and you can pitch your way around them. But it's worth bearing in mind that you'll kind of be a little bit off angle if you do that. So feed in a little bit of yaw, enter them backwards, you know, try and pre-turn them as you go, but that's a really bad example. Respawn me. Yeah, as you come around, pre-turn them so that you're facing the right way before you've even gone through. If you bounce around on them a little bit, hey, what does it matter? As long as you're getting through the gates, right? Just don't overshoot them, really, is the main thing. That's where you will lose time, is overshooting. If you kind of come through and then you're turning, you come through and then you're turning, that's going to lose you the time. So you want to make sure that you're pre-turning them as best you can. I appreciate it's difficult in such tiny little environment, but you know, feed in enough yaw, you'll find your way around. Good little pro tip. I don't know, can I really give pro tips? Or just give sort of amateur tips. This really, just kind of flying through them, you know, one little gate at a time. Just kind of get a feel for it, working in the kind of enclosed little environments, and don't go full send really. Like, well, go full send, but you don't have to go full stick the whole way, right? So come off the throttle. Don't be afraid to throttle back and just pop your way through. It's difficult. It will take a lot of attempts to get it feeling smooth. It's easy to do, but it's also very difficult to do. So just bear it in mind. I mean, you can see I'm talking at the same time, but it's not necessarily the easiest obstacle in the world by any means. But it's good to get it out of the way right off of the rip. So as you come out of the last one, you head around this cone here. Cut it as tight as you want. You've got these 2 little hoop gates and a gravity gate, same as last week. Gravity gate making a comeback. I like to attack this and flick to the left because there's a bit more space than last week's. Last week's you kind of shot out of that gate and didn't really have a lot of opportunity to correct anything. So I like to attack it, come over it, flip from the left, and then this can be relatively straight lined because you'll see they're just slightly offset. So you come through, you just kind of a little kink, and that will get you through. Pre-turn the next one, of course, as best you can. Then this slalom's a bit more slalomy. These ones are a little bit straighter. So just your usual, you know, left, right, but punch the throttle as you're kind of turning, if you see what I mean. So just to go over it again for anyone who hasn't seen, left throttle, right throttle, left throttle, right throttle. I mean, that's how you do a slalom, really. You know, you're going fast enough, it's all kind of punchy. If you haven't seen and you are available, you have the workshop tracks available to you, Pressure also has a slalom track, which is just absolute, like, it's a total godsend for those of us that really want to kind of work on our skills of sort of slaloming, and I think there's a power loop one as well. So get on the workshop again. That's another free thing to get onto if you're on Steam. It's super easy to do. Subscribe to Precious Tracks and you'll get all the updates. This next little bit here, very similar. I think there's a similar thing in the team trials track this week as well. Left-hand turn gates. A bit like last week, we had the right-hand turn gates. These are just a few on that go to the left-hand side. Again, I can't really give too much of a sort of, this is how you do this really easily. I mean, it's not a difficult maneuver when you kind of look at it, but it can be tough to kind of keep yourself flat and level and not, you know, like that, overshoot the last gate or overshoot one of the ones in between. It's a bit difficult, but the best thing to do with that is take your time, you know, take it slow if you have to, and just build up speed. You know, just keep at it, keep trying. You know, you can always loop back round like I'm doing here. I mean, there's no rush to set a time. You know, just come through them slow, gradually build up the speed, and eventually, I mean, I don't even think I go through here full stick a lot of the time. Like, I'll be faster than that, but I'm not always going full stick through these. I like to kind of make a little micro adjustment here and there. Half throttle's a pretty good one. Reverse entry here. This is a spiral gate, so usual kind of terms and conditions apply. You want to come through backwards, keep it as close as you can, hop over the top, through, over the top, through. We've done those 100 times, so you know, you'll be pretty familiar with these by now. Again, another little place that's quite good for just learning, sitting there, flying around them for a little bit, really dialing it in, figuring out how much throttle you need, gradually sort of speeding it up. You can even link it together if you're on a real flow state roll like that. Okay, maybe not third time. These bits, yeah, the usual, kind of cut them close as you dare. There's another humpback gate this week. Now, I am learning very slowly to take these sideways. If you were in the Twitch stream last week, you'll have seen I really struggled with the humpback gate that we had on the lax track. So I'm actively trying to take these side on now, which, yeah, I mean, you can go through it flat, of course you can, but I think the trouble with going through it flat is that you need to attack it low, and you've got to kind of come off the throttle a little to make sure that you drop down in time. Whereas the difference, of course, is if you're coming through it sideways, as you're more and more confident with it, you can pretty much keep the throttle relatively pinned, and just maintain speed the whole way over the arc. So, you know, I'm still learning. I'm still getting to grips with that. So you see, I'm not infallible by any means. But yeah, that's how I'm trying to tackle this obstacle this week, and I think that's the way that a lot of the top guys are doing it. Cut that flag gate nice and close. This one again, it's same as last week. It's another ladder gate. Ooh, bouncy. So you know, I'm not. Go away, work emails. I'm not coming through this full speed, like full throttle the whole time. You know, come off the throttle, help yourself stop and punch your way around, I guess is quite a good way. But you know, you can again, you can use this as another spot to just grind out some little training bits, another little drill, you know, just around the bottom, through the top, round to the bottom, back through the top. You know, just keep that up and try and keep it level. I appreciate I'm kind of sideways on there, but you know, just the flatter you can keep it, the better. You know, if you want to just go around the bottom section, you can. Want to go around just the top section, you can. Again, like last week though, don't do it too much or you'll get dizzy, which I'm feeling right about now. Yeah, punch it through. You come around here, there's a big sweeper, and then a little kink to the right, back to the left, and we're coming through here again. Again, just, well, see, I've already confused myself. Just bear in mind, as you're coming through here, you're going to be carrying a lot of speed, so you really want to tighten that up. If you can come through it backwards, great, and just make sure you're on the throttle nice and soon, so you can punch your way around the next couple of gates. The last time we come through here, we'll be going through that Red Bull gate, which is the It's actually the old school Red Bull gate. So it's the one with the tiny little hole in it, which I don't know whether Pressure was having like some kind of sick joke. I know that gate wasn't necessarily overly well received by a lot of people when it was debuted by DCL, but you know, it's there to stay, at least as far as it being an asset in game. So just bear in mind as you're coming through, go to the right of that cone and then hit the top of it. Don't try and go for the bottom. It is too thin. It is way too thin. You will not make it. Well, you might make it. I don't know. But let's save the heartache, right? Wow, not a lot of times. I don't know why it's locked me to region for some reason. Doesn't matter how much I change it. I keep getting regional pilots. Ooh, that was a bit of a front flip. We'll give it one go. I say we'll give it one go. Oh man, that really got away from me. I've not played this in a few hours. I actually set my times on my lunch break today, so I don't think we're going to set a very good time on this. But hey, gives you a good idea. We'll watch the replay as per usual. And it's all good practice for me. I probably won't fly this track on Twitch tonight because my plan for Twitch tonight is to look at some of the new tracks in the beta potato version of the game. So we'll be looking at those. Oh man, that's proper cattywampus. Yeah, so we'll be checking those out tonight. I probably won't be grinding these tracks too much this week, although I'll give it a go. I'll see how much time I've got. But, you know, other commitments. Playing a lot of Call of Duty lately as well, just because, hey, everyone is, so why not? Unfortunately, I can't stream it though, because for some reason it's absolutely diabolical on my my GPU, my CPU doesn't like it. Anyway, look, let's spectate this because that was going nowhere. So, off the rip, try to tighten that up. Could probably do with being a bit tighter. Those weren't too bad though. Quite enjoyed those. Relatively tight to that. Low over the top of the gravity gate. Pretty much straight line this. A little bit of a hunting movement in the steering there. Relatively fast through there. That could do with being a bit tighter. Tight to that cone. Tight to that cone. Over the top. We came off the throttle a little bit there. That's a confidence thing. We'll get it. Quite wide on the entry there, so that needs to be tightened up if we can. Not too bad around these cones. Super happy with that. Managed to shave a lot of speed off and get the angles in. A bit of a hunt there though. Again, low and sort of slim angle of attack through the gravity gate. That got a bit wild. Wasn't too bad though. That got away from us as well. So there's definitely areas for improvement. Nice and close to those. Over the top here, how do we do? Yeah, definitely off throttle there. This one, yep, that's wide as well. I told you this is a tough track. And then, almost didn't make the top of the finish gate, but we got there. That's the main thing. So yeah, that's this week's track. It's a toughie, but it's a goodie. So again, props to Pressure for that one. It's an awesome track. It's great to see these in game now. And again, if you haven't already, check out the DCL workshop tracks. There are loads, and if you're fiending for new content and you can't be bothered with the beta release, workshop tracks 100%. They are awesome. But yeah, of course, beta release. If you want to get on the beta, it's open completely to anyone. DCL.aero, you will find the link to tell you how to do it. There's a bunch of new features in there. Interestingly, it looks like going forwards, I think there's an intention to maybe look at solo trials and team trials being you only get so many attempts kind of basis, which is interesting. So there's currently a trial underway for that. Infinite attempts and then infinite practice attempts and a limited amount of actual runs at the track. Which is an interesting way of approaching it. I think it'll, I don't know, will it minimize the grind? Probably not. We'll probably still be grinding an awful lot in practice, but certainly it will heap the pressure on. No pun intended. Okay, no pun very much intended. it will heap on the pressure for when we come to actually setting our laps. So that's going to be really interesting. I'm dreading it just a little bit. No, it should be good fun. Yeah, look, I hope this another helpful guide for the lot of, for you guys that are watching. Don't forget, as always, drop your comments below if you want. We're more than happy to get back to any queries that you may have. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual nonsense. And I guess there's one thing left to say: fly safe, fly fast, fly apex. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.